Hi everyone, this is Fiona, the Young Adult Librarian, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute unicorn planter. You can use it to put little plants in it, succulents, or you can use it even in your house for pencils or just as a pretty little container. It's pretty easy to make, so let's get started. For today's craft, you're going to need your jar, your felt. You should have green felt, white felt, and then 4 different colors of felt for your flowers. You should have some Mod Podge, some white paint, some black paint, some pink paint, a paintbrush, some gold glitter foam, your stencil sheet, some glue, and then you're also going to need a scissors and a pen or a marker. Okay, so first we want to take our jar, you're going to flip it upside down, and what we're going to do is take our white paint and we're going to paint the outside of the jar. You don't need to paint this bottom part. We're just going to paint here and along there with our white paint. And you may need to do more than one coat just to make sure it's not see-through. So you make sure that it's solid white. You might want to do more than one coat. So we're just going to start by painting the jar. Like so. And then once we have it painted, you want to set it aside and let it dry. So while you're waiting for the paint to dry on your jar, we can go ahead and prep a couple of the other items. So you want to have your felt and your foam, and you want to take your stencils, and what we're going to do is cut out each of these pieces. So you should have 4 leaves, 2 ears, a horn, and 4 flowers. So you just want to cut those out first. Okay, now that I have all my shapes cut out, what you just want to do is you're going to take your leaves and you're going to put them on the green, and you're going to line them up and trace them and cut them out. And the white would be for the ears. And then for the flowers, it's going to be 4 different colors. And for the flowers, what I do, you can trace the outline of the outside of the flower if you like. You can freehand cut the spiral inside. It just has to be a spiral. What I do is I just hold the paper against the felt and cut around the outside. And then once I have the outside shape cut, what I do is just cut along the pattern on the inside as well. Like I said, you can just, as long as it's a spiral that you're making inside, it doesn't matter if you follow the pattern or not. You just need to make sure that it's a spiral shape. So then you have your flower pattern here, and then you no longer need that. And then for your horn, you're just going to take the horn shape like you did the other things. And you can cut around it, you can trace it, and then we're just gonna cut this out. So then we'll have a lot of our pieces ready to go for when our jar is dry. So now that the white paint is dry, you want to take your jar, and what we're going to do is take our black paint and our pink paint, and we're going to add a face. We're going to do 2 eyes and 2 cheeks. So with the black paint, you want to make 2 U's for eyes. I'm really bad at using paint to draw shapes, so I'm going to actually use a marker, which you can do as well. So you just want to draw 2 simple U's. Again, you can use the paint, a marker, however you want to do it. And then you give it some eyelashes. And then you just want to take your pink paint and do just 2 little cheek spots. And then we're going to let that dry. So while we're waiting for the face we just painted on to dry, what we want to do is set up our felt flowers, because it's going to take a little bit of time to dry as well. So you want to take the flower that you've cut out, and you're going to start putting glue along the strip. You're probably going to get gluey fingers from this, so be prepared. So what you're going to do is start from the outside, and we're just going to roll inward like so. So yeah, like I said, gluey fingers. And then you just want to keep going. The glue. Keep rolling. And then when you get to this last part here where there's a little tab, you want to put some glue on that. And then press it down into the center for a couple of seconds. Okay, so then you have your flower. And for each flower, you want to glue one leaf onto the back. Like so. And then you just want to let these sit for like an hour at least to make sure that the glue sticks. Sometimes it takes a little while for the glue to take. So you want to make your flowers and give it about an hour before you go on after that. So now that you have your face painted on and it's dry, you're just going to take some of your Mod Podge, and all we're going to do is cover the outside of the jar with the Mod Podge. So this Mod Podge will seal the paint on the outside, making it waterproof, but please note that it will not be fully waterproof until 28 days from the time you first paint it. So you want to keep that in mind if you're going to be putting it outside or anything like that. So you just want to cover this with the Mod Podge, and then we're going to let that dry and go on to the next step. So now we want to take the glue, our ears, and our horn that we cut out. First we want to put on our horn. So we're going to put a little glue on the back. And then you're going to press it right onto the center of the top here. And then we're going to take our two ears. We're going to put them on either side of the horn. And we're going to put a little distance between the horn and the ears just so we can fit our flowers in. Like so. Okay, and then you want to let that sit to dry for a little bit before we go on to the next step. So now that the horn and ears are glued on, the last step, you want to take your flowers and your glue, and you're just going to put some glue on the back of each flower. And then we're going to position them at the top, like a crown. So you just want to position them so you're kind of covering the ears and the horn. And press them down. So once you have all your flowers glued on, I find it best to lay it flat and wait for about an hour for it to dry, because the flowers take a little bit longer to stick on. Okay, so here you can see my finished planter. And like I did say about the Mod Podge, it won't be fully cured for 28 days, so you want to keep that in mind if you are going to put it outside. If you do it before the 28 days, the paint might come off, so you might want to wait. You can of course always use it inside as well, that's no problem. So I hope you enjoyed this craft, and stay tuned for other crafts, and thanks for watching.